What's going on, cronies? Cat Burglar back with you. I wanted to go into the Cat Burglar sports betting philosophy. Guys, I basically made a checklist, and my philosophy goes as this. Over the last year, I've been pretty successful, and I've had times over the last 5 years where I've been successful and I've not been successful. And over that time, I've kind of learned what I think works for me and probably is going to work for a lot of you casual sports bettors that want to show a profit. The main reason why you guys and why most people do not show a profit is because of the emotion of sports betting. If you sports bet long enough, you're going to go through winning streaks and losing streaks. And the losing streaks are really hard. You start second guessing yourself. Do I play this game? Do I play that game? We've all been there. I don't care if you're a seasoned veteran or whatever, or if you're just new to sports betting. The longer you're at it, you're going to go through ups and downs, and you're going to have some of these times where everything looks crystal clear, like boom, boom, boom. You're picking these bets and they're winning. And other times where you've had 2 or 3 days in a row where you can't hit anything and you start second guessing yourself, like I said. But that's the main reason why people are not winning. And this whole bankroll management of 1 to 3%, if you just do that, I think ideally that is the way to go. But the problem is, majority of sports bettors emotionally can't do that. And because of that, they end up losing. And they end up like one game might be whatever. They can't stick to the 1 to 3% because even 1%, if you have 2 or 3 or a whole month of losing, is still a significant amount. So after you might be able to do it for 3 or 4 days, and then by the week 2 of losing, you're like, well, I've lost $80 or $800 or whatever it is. Then you're like, well, God, if I don't start betting bigger, I'm never going to get this money back. It's human nature, and that's what's working against us. And for the most disciplined sports bettors that can do the 1 to 3%, I think, ideally that is probably the way to go. But I think for majority of sports bettors who are not, this is not their full-time job, which, like I said, is probably 90% of the people out there or more, 95% of the people, that system is not going to work for you. So I'm going to go into just some bullet points on what I do. You don't have to do that, but this is what I do. Starting with number 1, only wager what you can afford to lose. I know this sounds simple, but guys, you can't be betting, your next mortgage payment. You can't be betting your next car payment. You can only bet what you can afford to lose. And that's so important. You want this to be fun and enjoyable. Even if you lose, you still want it to be fun and enjoyable. It becomes far less enjoyable if you're mortgaging basically your future because you need to bet. You need to get down on a game. Second, place bets early to get the best number. Early is better. Doesn't mean you're going to get the best number every single time, but betting early, like in the NFL, when those numbers come out Sunday night or Monday morning, bet them then. Rarely are you going to get a better number on Sunday. Rarely. The sharps have already have their bets in, and they're playing probably games that they're betting on Sunday. Betting the number back, trying to get a middle, whatever the case may be. Bet early. That's very, very important. And it's very important, too, with overnight NBA lines, overnight college basketball lines, overnight WNBA lines, all those types of things. The line moves so fast especially, and you guys have heard me say it, in the WNBA, how fast the lines move. If you're not betting them right away, you're probably not getting a favorable number. Gather as much info as possible. TV, internet, sharp bettors on X or Twitter. Information is king. Build a network of people you trust that have had success. Whether it's me, just going with what I have, or other people. But the more people and the more data that you can get and information, the better sports bettor you're going to become. This one is something that most bettors and handicappers probably are not going to agree with. Just letting you know. Ignore betting trends and systems. Guys, we've all seen it. Over the last 5 years, Minnesota Vikings have, lost at Lambeau. Well, that doesn't really matter, guys. The teams change yearly in football. They might not even have the same quarterback, which is the most important position at sports. Rarely do systems work. Rarely. And the systems that work, the sports books have them all. They have every one of these systems, guys. They have people that are just doing this. And if a system hits, it's not going to hit for that long. And you got to be able to adjust. But when do you adjust? That's the problem. You got to know when to adjust. And I just think for most sports bettors, they don't have enough time to look at this stuff. Now, maybe if you're a professional and this is your job and you're spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week looking at numbers and systems or whatever, then yeah, maybe systems work for you. But I'm talking to the Joe Blow sports bettor, the 95% casual sports bettor. Ignore betting trends and ignore systems. They're not going to help you, guys. They're just not. They change too fast, and most of them, you have to know the ones that actually mean something and the ones that are just data out there that has no effect on the line or the game or whatever. Set your standard bet size for everyday games, non-big games. My big games are called lock and loads. Whatever your big games are, set a standard bet size and stick to it. My big games are $30. I bet $30 on them. There's a reason for this. Guys, over years, I was getting crushed, and I could never really figure out why. It's because for the longest time, I wasn't betting my big games big enough, and I was betting my regular games, which lost at over 50% at way more than $30. So even though I was hitting my bigger games, my other games were eating up all my profit. Okay? That is very important. Whatever works for you on the standard bet size. It should be like, if I'm betting 10 to 20x on these games for my big games, which I'm going to go into on my next bullet point here, then I should be betting, $30. I should be betting $300 to $600 at least on my big games. Now, again, back up to bullet point 1. Only wager what you can afford to lose. So you need to figure that out. It may be $5. But what's great about that, when you have a smaller bet size on your regular games, you're not putting all that pressure on yourself if they lose or not. If you have a bad week, how much have you really lost? Okay? The big games, in my system, how I do things, should be 10 to 20x your standard bet. Like I said, if I'm betting $30, I'm betting these games $300 to $600 at least. And this will increase over time. But this only works if your big games hit 65 to 75%. And everybody's like, well, nobody hit 60. Look, nobody hit 65 to 75% overall. But on certain games, if you isolate certain games through the year, you can definitely hit 65 to 75%, guys. I'm doing it. On my last 20 lock and loads, I've only lost 2. In the spreadsheet, since I've been basically doing videos, I'm 6 out of 7. So you can definitely do this. But yeah, if you have a lock and load every single week or twice a week, or your big game is twice a week, yeah, you're not going to hit. There's just not games out there like that. For the casual bettor, there is not games out there for the, maybe for a professional that, again, has time to spend time 6 to 8 to 10 hours a day sifting through games, looking at, different information on the internet and all the stuff that comes, crunching numbers and spreadsheets. They may have time to do that, but Joe Blow Bettor does not. You probably are making your bets in 30 minutes to an hour. Okay? There's millions of props. There's so many different bet types now. You just don't have the time to do it. Okay? One thing I did pass up here, and I want to go into it. Stick to what you know. Leagues, teams, bet types. Avoid parlays at all costs. Let me repeat that. Avoid parlays at all costs. They are sucker bets. This is where the books make all their money. Do you ever wonder why, when you log into your sportsbook, they have right in front of your face same game parlays, all these parlays? Because that's where they make their money. Don't give them what they want, guys. And stick to what you know. Like I told you guys, there's millions of different bets, props. I can't tell you how many props there are every single day. It's probably thousands. Even if you're talking just like basketball, football, whatever it is in season. There's too many to look in. Stick to certain teams. For me, I look at the Big Ten a lot, and I look at the Packers. Those are 2 areas where I've done very well over the last few years. Doesn't mean I won't bet outside of that on certain games and teams, given the situation. But guys, I stick to what I know. Okay? And we all veer away from it, but it's important once you veer away that you're able to reel yourself back. Okay? You have to be able to reel yourself back in. It's so important. Okay? Sorry, I forgot that one on this bullet point here, but that's very important. Lastly, stay disciplined and stick to your plan. You got to have discipline in sports betting. If you're betting $50 here and $70 here and $130 here and $80 here and all this, it's going to be really tough, guys. It is. Trust me, I've done all the ways, and I found 1.5 million ways to lose. So I'm not that much different. This system works. It really does. But you have to be disciplined on your big games and really wait for those games you like, and understand too that you're going to not hit 30% of those big games, and those are big amounts. If you're betting, for example, if you're betting $5 on your regular games, now you're betting 100. For some people, losing $100 is a lot of money, but that's going to happen 3 out of 10 times. So you got to get your mind around that. Okay, guys? Also, I wanted to let everybody know, if I don't post a video, I try to do it every single day, but if I don't, I will update the spreadsheet that is in my YouTube profile. And I always update that, guys. So sometimes shit comes up and I'm just too busy to post a video, but I'll always update the spreadsheet, guys. And that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So I just wanted to let you guys know. If you don't see a video, you can always check my spreadsheet. BS Bettors podcast we do during the football season. We do it from preseason all the way through the Super Bowl. It's me and 3 other guys, and we post all of our bets in the podcast, but we also add them into the sheet, the spreadsheet for the Cat Burglar too. There's just another tab that says BS Bettors all, and you can sort by each person if you want to see how each person, whether it's Sal the Prognosticator, Cash Money, or the Hitman, you can sort, or you can do all. And that's the same for my spreadsheet as well. You can always sort. I put everything in there by prop, money line, spread, total, league. There's a graph in there each month how I do. And I also do a recap every month on if I did well or if I didn't. So I don't hide. I don't shy away from losing months. It's going to happen, guys. You can't win all the time. It's super hard. Sports betting is not easy. So, guys, I know this is a little bit of a long-winded video, but I needed to go into my philosophy. I've had some people basically ask questions on why you do this. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else would say bet 10 to 20x your regular. But that's because they're not hitting their big games at that high. They don't have the confidence. I know because I've done it over years. So, yes, if you cannot hit your big games any better than you can hit your regular games, you will lose, and you will lose significantly. So, that's my process. Stay disciplined. Stick to the plan. Find your regular bet size. Find your big game bet size. And stick to it. You can put in the picks with mine. I give my picks away free every day. I don't charge for my picks. So, anyways, guys, I just wanted to go into that. And again, if you ever have any questions, you can put it in the comments. Or you can shoot me an email. I think that's on my profile too. Or message me somehow. I'm on X as well under Cat Burglar Picks. So, all right, guys, that's the Cat Burglar from Philosophy. Let's get it.